Hi, welcome to the Whiska Chicks podcast. My name is Amy.
And I'm Amy's sister, Suzie.
We are going to be talking to you about Whiska Chicks. You may ask yourself, what in the world is a Whiska Chick? Well, it's a term our Nana, our grandmother, used to describe anything and everything, like a doodad or a thingamajig.
For our purposes today, Amy and I have framed Whiska Chicks as those random moments in life that accumulate over time that compel us to grow, learn, and evolve. Whether it's good, bad, ugly, funny, or sad, with each Whiska Chick comes a lesson, an aha moment, a lotus blooming from the mud and muck, resulting in wisdom and healing.
Whiska Chicks have brought us both to a place in our lives where we love ourselves and speak our truths. The last thing Nana said to me before she passed on was, "Be true to yourself, little A." That was the nickname she had for me. The angel spoke straight through her in that moment, and I knew I had quite a journey ahead of me. It was that Whiska Chick, the last Whiska Chick she delivered, that set me off on an incredible growth journey. She is the force behind this creative endeavor. We dedicate every Whiska Chick to her. We're grateful you're here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Whiska Chicks podcast. I'm Suzie.
And I'm Amy.
And here we are, finally, 5 years later, after we said, we're going to be better about recording.
Did you think we were dead?
Here we are for episode 33.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was 333. I saw 333 earlier. I didn't know this was episode 33. It's a 3-day.
We're just full of surprises here to get you. Like, we're flying by the seat of our pants, as we've stated millions of times. But anyway, yes, here we are. We will always come back.
Don't ever lose hope. We will be back.
Like a boomerang. We will always come back. But yes, we're coordinating the time, which is funny now because we live like 15 minutes away from each other. But anyway, but yeah, before we get started, we definitely, even in our lack of recording, we are still acquiring listeners, and I just wanted to welcome to the Whiska Chicks fold the beautiful country of Singapore.
Yeah, we were surprised at that.
A lot of hits in Singapore. So whoever's listening in Singapore,
welcome
to Whiska Chicks. Everybody's welcome. But
That's
anyway,
right.
I'll be really excited when we get all continents on board. But anyway, yeah. So, well, Amy and I were talking. We always pre-talk about what we want to talk about. We never have a plan or an itinerary of subjects. We just sort of think about what's spinning around us and maybe something personal that's going on with us to share. But we just thought today, with everything going on with humanity and globally, that we would just sort of talk about, like, I want to say, like, how to navigate life, but just, maybe talk about some things to maybe focus on as, information comes to us in various forms or whatever. So I'm trying to be PC here. It's hard. It's really hard because living in America, we all know what's going on here, but I know we're not alone in the world with stuff going on. There's stuff going on everywhere. So
yeah.
And we've talked in other podcasts about, specifically, it wasn't that long ago, I know, when we did the responding and not reacting.
Mm-hmm.
And so this episode might be like another level of that, because now we have like a prime example.
Yeah. And I think the tendency right now is to react, for sure. And I know I've had to pull myself back a few times. I mean, I've actually used the H word, hate, a few times, and just I find myself getting angry, and I don't want to feel that way, because I know in the end that's not going to get anybody anywhere. I think those of us who are able to come from a place of love and positivity and hope we need to practice that so that we can drive the collective and the consciousness of the collective. Because those of us who are more sensitive and um, understand the wisdom behind coming from a place of love, it's up to us really to drive the energy. So, and it's hard because it right now it is easy to react and get emotional about what's going on in the world right now. I'm just grateful to some of these memes that are coming out. These I get a good laugh out of them. Thank goodness, because I need a good laugh. So anyway,
Yeah, it's interesting too, how we see, especially through memes, how other countries are responding to what's going on, like here in America. And, humor. The saying laughter is the best medicine. Couldn't be more true. It really, really is the best medicine. And, I just feel like it was like, I think I gave some silly analogy. I think it was in the Respond, Don't React episode where I spoke about, like, being that pebble that you throw in the pond and the ripples of that energy. And,
yep.
if you imagine that being on a level where it's a triggered negative response, how quickly those ripples will just plow through people. Whereas if you're the responsive, kind of balanced, maybe looking at both sides of things, like pebble going into that water, more like where the ripples go out and get people thinking. So, we have a lot of things, Amy and I, that we have been working on for the last handful of years with ourselves. And it's so interesting that in doing that work with everything that we're presented with now, and this is no different with what's going on around us, especially politically, where, those tools really come into play, or like things run through my head. Like if I get some information and I'm like, oh boy, but I have to pause and remind myself, like, what's going on right now. And it's not just here in America, it's everywhere in the world, or wherever you live, wherever you're listening in your daily life. Whatever is going on presently was meant to be part of your journey.
Yeah.
It is not a personal attack against you. It is part of these chapters that are being written in this part of your journey.
Yeah. And clearly, there truly is a purpose to all of this, as hard as it may seem, to view it that way. But I know I have issues with. I tend to ignore things, and I know that's not always good. A friend of mine, I I heard her on social media not long ago say, okay, all of you who've just been kind of laying back and ignoring and zoning out, it's time to punch back in and pay attention.
Right.
And
breaks over.
I know. I thought that was hilarious. Like, yeah, I've got to get my time card out because I have been totally like, I have totally been checked out just because it's avoidance, right? Because you have to be prepared for the energy that it brings. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And you'll notice that Suzie keeps referencing the country as America. And, we were talking about this the other day. We really feel like this is not the United States. We are more separated in so many respects than ever. And so we've decided to call it America.
I might slip up a few times, but yeah,
Well,
we are on the continent of North America.
True.
That's
true.
what this is. We are
But
North
we are
America.
not the United States of America. We're all feeling, doing it, and those that are driving the tone of the country are creating more division than ever. So we are not united. And so we're America now. Well, we're not calling it.
Well, but there are, I think, first of all, I do believe that history repeats itself, and I won't get into specifics of that, but I do feel history is having some repeat vibes right
Mhm.
now. But I do also feel that there are a large part of us associated with the color blue, let's just say, that are united.
Well, right, but as a
You know,
country,
right? As the
yeah.
country of America, the states are untied. I think I've said that before. If you jumble
Yes,
around the word
you have.
united, it's the maybe we should just call it the untied
You
states.
need to, like, trademark that.
I'm sure she already has because every time I have a freaking brilliant idea, I look it up and it's like already been done. I'm like, I am behind the ball. That's just great. That's just great. But it's interesting. I don't always do this before we record, and I didn't tell you this in the pre-recording conversation because I know you like it
Well,
when I
I
tell.
enjoy your
I
surprises.
know, so why blow it, right? Then it's more of a more of an improv session. But anyway, Amy and I. This actually it's Amy's knew her before I did, so it's by association. But Amy has an amazing friend that we know. Her name is Tracy.
Oh, yeah.
Tracy is it? I don't let me mess up her last name. Dunblazer.
Dunblazier.
Dunblazier.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she co-created a deck of cards with someone named Justine
Sarabin?
Sarabin. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
reading it. Called the Rainbow Warrior Activation Deck, and
It's a beautiful
it's a
deck.
beautiful deck, and it's like should we say they're more like energy or like aura cards, or they're associated with color. They look like every card in the deck looks like you could have it framed on the wall as like art. It's just really really beautiful. And so this is why I don't know, for some reason, like 2 minutes before we signed on to record, I was just like, I'm gonna pull a card. I'm just gonna randomly pull a card for the energy around the reading. And the card I pulled was alchemy.
I did one today
Yeah.
too, and I got spring.
Oh, well, it's spring like weather. I'm just kidding.
Well, but no, but think about, I mean, it's alchemy is important for, I mean totally appropriate, but when I pulled spring today, I mean, I know spring is coming, but every single I got to thinking Mars went forward. Every single planet is in forward motion right now astrologically, which means in with this upcoming full moon, it's time to refresh, rebuild, manifest, and trust that all that alchemy is happening for you, especially
Right.
as we move toward spring, right? It is a time of renewal. And so I felt like, wow, that's a great card for this week and this time, but alchemy's powerful too. But
Right. But
expound on alchemy.
the reason why I wanted to share this was because I know, there's probably a lot of energy and our mindsets are in some frustrated, confused, darker, more negative places, just with everything going on in the world. And so I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to read what I think is really relevant to me pulling the card with what we're discussing today. But the main words that are energetically like fueling this, or the theme around this, is chemistry, partnership, fusion, magic, transmutation, and miracles. So, alchemy is the ancient belief that one can turn base metals into gold, or perhaps find an elixir of everlasting youth. In other words, it's the creation of a miracle containing the perfect combination of ingredients. Okay? So, but it was the last paragraph of this that really hit home with me. And this is what I want to share with everybody to remember this. Know that what you have in your life right now is the making of a miracle, and there is a broader dynamic at work that may not be possible to see from where you're standing. Stay present and know all is well.
Yeah, and it
Drop
goes
the
back,
mic!
drop the mic. And Susie and I were talking about this last night, and I was just talking to my daughter Sophia before we got on the recording session, and she asked for a call out, and I'm like, I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I'm calling her out.
What do you mean she wanted to call out?
She just like I think she was kidding, but she was like, call out whatever. And I'm so I forget exactly what she said, but here it is, Sophia. Sophia and I we're talking about this yesterday morning, and then Susie and I were talking about this last night. So I find it interesting that you pulled the alchemy card, because Sophia's, we were having this conversation around the universe and not having expectation. Don't put expectations on the universe, because just know that all is alchemizing behind the scenes for your highest good, for the highest good of the collective, for the highest good of, it is the divine plan, and the universe is always alchemizing. I told her, and I could tell she was like, what does that mean? But you think of it like a big cauldron or a pot, and all these different ingredients are being added to it, and stirring and stirring and stirring. And it's just like, when it's finally done, when it's fully cooked, baked, mixed, blended, then what you were desiring will come to be, kind of a thing, right? It's like everything is working behind the scenes in your favor, but you can't be waiting for it. It's just going to happen when it is time, right? So alchemy is just, it's such an important concept, and it could be that right now and moving forward in the next few years, there's something alchemizing out there that we don't know about yet, and we may not know for some time, but it's all, there's stuff brewing out
I
there.
I was laughing when you were talking about that because I have a silly mind, and all I could think about
Really?
all I could think about was that green witch from Bugs Bunny,
With
where
the
she
bobby
with the
pins?
bobby pins that fly out, but she's like when she runs away. I could see her like stirring her pot, but no, it's so true, and so it's like if you watch the news for 15 minutes or listen to NPR or whatever, I mean, it's not likely you're going to hear something that makes you go like, "Oh, that's awesome!" right now. Like you're going to really
It's going
struggle
to make
to
me run to my hole. I'm going
yeah,
to turn it off and run to my hole.
but it really is up to you how you receive such information and know like its worth. So it's like, I don't know how to say this without being like more specific, and I'm trying to really remain politically neutral. I'm struggling with it a little bit, but it's like I personally have made some decisions in the last few weeks where I think about like where I'm spending my money
Mm-hmm.
and where that money goes beyond my bank account, like where it's actually going, what it's actually supporting, what is it feeding.
Mm.
And I've come to some realizations that, and maybe being Gen Xers, we feel this a little more because we grew up when there was some technology, and now it's evolved into like, holy shit, the technology.
There was
But,
hardly any technology.
I mean, life existed before Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And it's like, so, where I'd be really quick to maybe go online and order something, now I'm quicker to source it out and, get in my car and go buy it somewhere and just really know like, or supporting a farmer's market or a small local business or something like that. It's really, and this is one of the good things I think about what's going on globally is I think we're going to be in a place where everybody just needs to remember where we came from and get
Mm-hmm.
back to basics,
Yep.
because it's all become so overly complicated, and with that comes
It's
stress and fear and all of that, all those things like we don't want.
and it's about instant gratification. Instant. I want something right now. Click, click, tap. It'll be here tomorrow. We didn't grow up like that. Like you said, you had to physically get in your car, seek it out, go go pay a visit to a local shop and give them your business. And you know I think it's so I think it's kind of so what's the word I'm looking for? It's not ironic or symbolic, or I just think it's just so interesting how we're being prompted, at least Susie and I are, we're being prompted now to step back and move away from that instant gratification type thing and just that uber convenience of that everything is at our fingertips and go back to the basics. I mean, physically get off your butt, walk to your car, drive someplace, give your business to a local shop owner and come home, and keep the money out of the deep pockets of the billionaires. You know what I mean? It's like, but it comes down to that instant gratification. We need everything now, 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 now. And that's not, when you think about it, that's not healthy. That is not healthy. That's not the way we should be living and seeing things. We should have to, there should be more effort put into going out and getting the things we need.
You know what? I don't know why this just flew into my head.
Is this another cartoon?
No, but you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. So, when we would go stay at the beach with our dad in the summertime in Oceanside, California, I mean, I think at times there were TVs in the cottages. I can't remember, but
yeah, occasionally rabbit ear.
Other than that, you're out digging in the sand or swimming in the ocean or torturing your siblings, playing with the other kids. But I remember so I know you know what this is, Amy, but just to explain to people, there up the hill from the beach, there was this store called Pappy's. Pappy's little store by the seashore.
Yeah.
And our dad would go up there primarily to buy like paper rolls of mussels because he would go surf fishing, and I'm sure he picked up beer as well. I can't remember, but
cigarettes,
yeah. But I remembered how excited I was. It was a long walk, and it wasn't a safe walk, and we were kids. But I remember how excited I was
comic
to be,
books.
Hop in the back of the van, and we go up, and they had that whole rack of comic books in there, and they had those candy cigarettes where the powder blew out, and like bazooka gum and all that. But we were so excited to just be like, "Oh, Dad's going to Pappy's. Let's go get some comic books." And then we would like be sharing them and reading each other's and stuff like that, and be like, "Look, I got the latest edition of Archie or Silver Surfer or something."
Woody Woodpecker,
yeah. But just like that was like that form of instant gratification, and it was just so random that Dad would be like, "Hey, I'm running up to Pappy's," and we all jump in the van with him and go, so.
But it took some effort. We didn't do it from like sitting on our butts, click, click, click. And
exactly.
Anyway.
And I also think as consumers that sitting on the butt, click, 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 you probably spend 20 to 30% more money than you have to by doing that. I mean, you have to spend more money with the convenience of just being able to order stuff online. And I understand sometimes that's not avoidable for some people if you're unable to leave the house for yourself or whatever. But like, I just, anyway, I don't know, that memory flashed into my brain about the smell. I can smell the comic books,
Oh yeah, totally.
What great memories. But, anyway, yeah, I get it. Like some people are in situations again where it's like maybe you are, two working parents that have kids, and like it's hard to run those errands and stuff like that. I'm just want to ask everyone to think about everything they order online to get super conveniently, and just think again, like, is that something that you can maybe either buy in bulk at somewhere like Costco, or, source out to another place and maybe get it, less frequently? Or I don't know, like, do you really need it? Or
can you get it straight from the manufacturer? If you're going to order online, Can you just get it straight from the manufacturer? Give them your direct business.
Yep. So, I mean, we know some people here in our area that have their own businesses that I know have been, they're struggling a bit with getting people in the door, because the economies everywhere, but here too, are just, people are scared. They're scared about what's going on and how much things could potentially cost, and are these luxury items and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But, treating yourself to something like going to a shop and just buying yourself like a beautiful, like handmade by some small person somewhere, like candle, that you light for yourself.
Or a
Like,
mug.
you deserve that, or a mug.
Yeah.
Like you deserve that. You really do. So, yeah, anyway, but yes, in a world that seems, I don't know how to say that. I mean, the first word that came into my mind starts with an F. But fun? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you put the FU in fun, America. But in a world that just seems like, all over the place and stuff, I really feel like each individual soul, and I'm just going to be blunt, you have a responsibility to yourself more than anyone, but starting with yourself and then being that rock that's thrown out that affects others, to stop and think before something comes out of your mouth that is like, I think that's the Buddhist saying, like, before you speak, is it
Yeah.
kind? Is it necessary? Is it true?
Yep.
If you can't tick all those boxes before you speak, don't say it, think. So that puts you into the responsive mode, not the reactive mode. Do not live in fear. Do not live in hate. Do not be angry. You can feel passionate. Don't confuse passion and anger. They feel very similar sometimes. But
Yeah.
I keep saying this
Totally.
like in the last week, and everybody keeps laughing at me. But I swear, this is the effing truth, man. Love is the most powerful force on the planet. Love is the most powerful force on the planet.
Abso-frickin-lutely.
So if everything you do comes from love, you're good.
Evil can't survive.
It can. It can sneak in for 4 years and do its thing. And,
I loved how you slipped that in.
yeah. Just if you see Chucky or eat Cheetos, like maybe it's reminiscent of something for you. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, babies. We just got to hang on.
I mean, look at every movie. Everyone knows here what a big Disney fan I am, but
Are you?
I
What?
am.
We never
I
knew that
know.
about you.
Love and good always win. And it's not just in Disney movies. I mean, Hallmark and no, I'm kidding.
Don't
No, but
don't don't go
no,
on the
no,
Hallmark train.
no, I'm not. I'm not. I
We'll drop
promise.
listeners.
I know. I'm sorry, but no, seriously. There's a reason why most all movies, most all stories, most all fables, good always wins. Love always prevails. And there's a lot of truth to that. And I think if we can all come from that place, it will win. May take some time, but it will win. We'll get there.
I know. I just sometimes I don't know the words to the song, but he's one of the. I think Tinkerbell's smaller, but I always just think Jiminy Cricket. I just hear him being
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Always let your conscience be your guide."
Beer. Yep.
Like that's truly. If I pulled one saying from Disney, except when I sing "Hi Ho," it's off to work I go on the way to work. But that is such a powerful statement. It's a very spiritual, powerful statement, and it's coming from a effing cricket. So
Pinocchio is actually a very powerful spiritual movie. It's got some pretty profound messages in it, including around fate and your heart.
do you want me to
And
start humming "When You Wish Upon a Star"?
well, one of my most favorite lines in that song is like a bolt out of the blue, fate comes in and sees you through. I absolutely love that line, you know. And as long as we're referencing Disney in the Phantasmic finale, you use your might to brighten the light. That's another really good line. It's just that's what we need to do right now is use our might to brighten the light with love. That's
I heard someone speaking today, Kamala Harris. That
bless you.
sorry, I sneezed there. Really, no, truthfully, it was Kamala Harris, she was speaking at, she won an award for something, and forgive me for not knowing what it was. I was so enthralled with what she was saying, and, I really love her spirit right now. And, she was just really encouraging anyone that's feeling negatively about what's going on to just know that this is a time to sort of like educate yourself and regroup and
Punch in.
advocate. Yeah, advocate for yourself, and and to not give up on
Yeah.
anything. So what if the world seems like a difficult place right now? It's just a blip. It's literally a blip. And I keep encouraging people, and this is another huge manifestation tool. Instead of focusing on what you don't want to happen, focus on what you do
Do
want to
want to
happen.
happen. Yep.
If you focus on what you don't want to happen, that just invites all the bullshit in. So don't do that.
And it slows down the alchemy. Seriously.
There's the witch again stirring.
Yeah, the cauldron comes to a standstill.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't muck up the cauldron. But seriously, like, that is, if you could take two things away from this podcast episode today, it would be focus on what you do want to happen and manifest that, and love being the most powerful force on the planet.
I think you just assigned homework.
I did not. That is your job.
But
that's not actually.
But I couldn't have said it better myself.
I know, but you have to come up with something else. Because I can't assign the homework. We're 33 episodes in. It's your thing. Homework is your thing. I said that they could take away. I didn't assign it for them to do it, but just to take away. Like, put it in your thought bank and chew on it.
Oh, dear.
Now you're on the spot for homework.
Now I am. I was relieved that it sounded like homework what you just said.
Okay, well, if you really want that to be the homework, that can be the homework.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to assign homework with this one. I think in this instance, a takeaway is better than homework, and then if you use those takeaways and apply them, that's the homework.
Be the light because you are the light.
Be the light because you are the light.
Be the light because you are the light. That's not. I'm just making that up right now.
I've heard that somewhere. Be the light because you are. Yeah. We are. Don't dim your light because of what's going on right now. Let your light shine. It's everybody collectively letting their light shine that is going to get us on the other side.
And sometimes, especially as of late, with everything we've had with like visible planets in the sky when it's been clear. I know it's hard to see, like, if you live in a more of like an area where there's lots of city lights and stuff, but for those of you out there that have or know anything about the book, The Four Agreements, if you haven't read it by now, Lord, go do it. Oh my God. But anyway, I think it's one of the opening statements of that book is that, like, basically we are the stars. Like, we are the stars and the light between the stars. And so sometimes when I just really need to feel, something like good, I'll just look up at all those stars and just think, like, yeah, we're just the souls. We're the stars and the light and the stars. So, love.
Everybody stay positive. Let your light shine and don't get sucked down the negative, angry hole.
Stay in the happy hole. Oh my God. On that note, let's end it there. Yeah, let's stop. I see I'm looking up at the trains arriving, and the loopy train is about to pull in the station. So let's end it here. But anyway, yes, do forgive us for the length of time between episodes. It's just the way life is, but we'll always come back and give you quality content.
That's right. And stay in the happy hole.
Stay in the happy hole, kids. All right, everybody. Until next time, love yourselves and each other and be the light. And we know what old Nana would say.
Be true to yourself.